Whoosh! Hello. Hello, VOD watchers. No one's actually here right yet. But if you are watching a VOD, then oh, someone is here. I was talking to future VOD watchers. I was saying, since no one is here, that if you're watching a VOD, things just start right here. So hello. Hello, Lumi. Thank you very much. I like it. I like it. So I go into old hentai manga. Hentai manga is kind of a redundant term, but I go into old hentai. I find cells that I like. I colorize them. I vectorize them so they can be printed at any size. And then I make shirts out of them. And boy, oh boy, are there a few hentai websites that do not like me. Hey, my buddy Kosher Bacon subscribed to me on YouTube. Good shit. Hey, Lumi, have you subscribed to my very cool YouTube channel? You're probably not used to seeing me not in costume. It's probably a little weird at this point. Are you serious? I'm always on YouTube. That's like where I get the bulk of my media anymore. I usually have YouTube on like when I'm sleeping and stuff like that. I put on documentaries or true crime shit, or I'm real into like the Twitch debate lords and shit. So like fucking Destiny and Vosh and other YouTube debate tours. Where the fuck is my remote so I can turn this down? Oh. I'm cuter out of costume? What? What? Are you ready? Hello. This is what I look like when I'm doing homework. I haven't done homework in a long time. Actually, that's not entirely true, because I did my mom's master's, but that was 6 years ago now, probably. So that was the last time I did homework, was when I did my mom's master's level courses. She took online, and I wrote her papers. I was like, look, you do my shifts at the dog kennel, I'll write your papers for school. She's like, done. I'm like, fuck yeah, done. I can write all day long. Actually having to put in physical energy? Fuck that. So, she took extra shifts at the kennel, and I wrote her papers, and she got her master's degree, and I got diddly fucking squat. But hey, you can make me some sick-ass earrings? Yeah? That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Oh my god, I haven't even thought about looking up earrings to print with my 3D printer. What a dum-dum. Yeah, you should send me some of that info. I've never seen what you sell, so. What am I gonna listen to today? Who else is out there in the ether? People I don't know. Well. Hello. Don't be afraid to say hello. I like new people a lot. And I'm excited to learn all about you Nimrods who are hiding out there in the lurker zone. Every single time. Okay. So, in the long ago, there was a game called StarCraft. It still exists, but it's not important in any way. But there was a unit in that game called the Lurker. And it was this alien creature that would, like, sink underground so you couldn't see it. And it would, like, fire spikes through the ground at shit. So, every single time I think of the concept of lurkers, I picture everyone who is a lurker as a StarCraft lurker. We're going to pull up what they look like. Just so that everyone can get this in their head and be on the same page that I'm on. Because it's a weird page to be on. These are lurkers. Oh, my camera is right where that would be, isn't it? We'll put the camera here. These are lurkers. Oh my god, I never even thought. Are there StarCraft things for me to print? Holy shit, guys. Do it. Do it. Let me see, Mom. I want Zerglings. Why are you loading so slow? I'm gonna print so many Zerglings. What are you? You're like some weird geometry Zergling. I don't want that. I want the full fucking baby. The full Zerg baby. Yeah, look at you. Look at you, little Zergling pup. Your name will be... Oh. Again, the weird geometry version that's just like stupid. We're getting... Hi, Allie. We're getting this one, and his name is... That's his full name. Yeah? Okay. I'm gonna have to give that a look. Zergling. So, Yegi searches a bunch of 3D printing websites. But not all 3D printing websites give their prints away or give the files away for free. So Thingiverse is one where all the files are free. So it's always nice to look here, see if you can get stuff, you know. Then you look on Yegi, you go, okay, where else has it? Oh, this place. Oh, fuck, they want me to pay for it. Hello there, Ginger. How are you? Nice to meet you. Let's go back home. There we are. What's going on, friends? What's going on, friends? So we're gonna have a chat today. I am a little bit hyper. A little bit. I have a high energy level today. My disability has made me realize that having energy and hurting, two different things. So some days I hurt and have no energy. Those are real bad days. I just sleep all day. Then there's days when I have energy and hurt, where I'm just like, wow, fuck, I hurt. Ow, don't do this to me anymore, body, please. And that's like today. Then there are days, of course, where I have no energy, but I don't hurt. Those also suck. Because I just sleep and sleep. I don't know if I want the pink light on right now. I feel like it's daytime. We need a more daytime appropriate color. I don't have a daytime color. Here's just light. Oof, it's so bright. Let's turn it way down, can I? Oh, okay. Okay. That's looking a little more daylight in here. I don't look like a vampire today. So, after 2 days, you won't be on for a week. Okay. I'll try and remember that when I'm like, where's Allie? You like the green? The green is pretty interesting. Whoa, that's not green. Green, I noticed this before. Today? Oh, after today. After this day. I noticed before when I used to do Chatterbait that green accents my skin and everything in an interesting but good way. But it tends to make everything look stupid. Like then you have like this green wash on all your clothes and stuff. But we'll play with green for now. Green's pretty fun. I kind of want to go make coffee, but I have this whole soda to drink. Okay, so you're going for a wedding, right? Where are you going? I don't remember that. Like where the wedding is. It feels so nice to stream again after Oh, you're coming here? You want a high five? I can meet you in a parking lot somewhere. We can do a big high five. Yeah, no, I am pretty hyper, but I just like the taste of coffee. It's good. I got Monster Hunter working last night at the end of the night. I was very happy about that. I got to play some Monster Hunter. You know what I learned was that apparently Monster Hunter fucking hates when I alt-tab out of it. Like, it just freaks out and is like, I'm gonna crash. But so long as I just stay in it, then it's okay. Yeah, that's what I figure. Like, your family might be weird if you're like, I'm gonna meet up with some dude from the internet. But if you just told me where you are and stood there like this, and then a car would just pull up and I'd come zipping out and be like, and then go running back to my car. Meanwhile, Beard's in the passenger seat with my phone streaming it. Oh man. So I found someone who is gonna try and find me some mushrooms, and I'm real excited about that. Beard and I are gonna eat a whole bunch of mushrooms on stream, and boy oh boy is that gonna be a good one. You guys ever want to watch me cry and roll on the floor laughing for like 20 minutes straight, unable to talk, just gasping for breath and laughing and crying? Mushrooms. That's what I mean, Allie, because I'm afraid of COVID, so I wouldn't want to actually like hang out or hug you. You know what I mean? That's why all I can do is just run up and high five you and run away, because then I can just like go clean my hand off and we're good. So I was actually watching something, or no, I was reading something that said that they have now found that COVID can aerosolize, I think that's the term, and spread up to 18 feet in some cases. What's going to be real cool is when like the superbug versions of this shit survive and start running rampant through our society. We're never going to have nightclubs again. You know that, right? You guys are young, so I don't think you've ever been to one, obviously. You're never going to get to. This is a thing that's just gone now. Or it's only idiots will do it. It'll be like having unprotected sex. It's just stupid to do. Yeah, you want to do it, because that's where the fun is, but don't. I've been to a drag event. What? I've been to a bunch of drag events. Oh, as far as going to a bar? Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of like that. A bar on any given night. Like, I've been to several drag events, and then also been to bars that weren't having drag events. Like, it's not like a bunch of people, everyone's chatting. I don't know if they were serving alcohol at the event you went to or not, but I know you said that, Allie, but I'm not driving 3 hours. I've like contemplated in the back of my head how I would do a drag performance, because I think it would be a lot of fun. Fun Beast? What is that? What is drag? Drag is when a man dresses up as a woman or a woman dresses up as a man, and then they do a show. They dance around, or they lip sync usually. They sing along to someone else's song and do a whole thing. Yeah, no, Lumi, it's been discussed on this channel more than once. Like, I have a friend who hosts drag events, so it's not even an unimaginable thing, and it's been turned over. Well, who would I be? Who would I be? You know? Oh, yikes, man. That doesn't sound fun, Allie. That sounds like a shitty time. You'll do a drag character sketch up for me? I did that Snapchat shit where it makes you a chick. I am a hottie. I am all about it. I'm about it. I would totally bang me as a chick. But then, you know what that got me thinking? If I was me as a chick, would I think me as a guy is hot? Or would I be like, she did have a lot of chest hair. She's going to have to shave that first. And also maybe get a boob job, because there was just nothing. There was just nothing. Yeah, no, Allie. I don't like being in cramped spaces at all. At all. I have very bad claustrophobia. Like it's stupid. It's really stupid. Claustrophobia and acrophobia. Really bad. Like, my body, you know how when you're being tickled, your body will just like act of its own accord, you know? And you might like lash out at the person and be like, "Ah, stop it." My body just does that when it's in a tight space or a high place. It just goes, "No, we're not doing this. I have the power to stop it. We're not doing this." So, yeah, and today is pretty hot, so I hope the AC in that vehicle is pretty good. Yeah, Lumi? Yeah, because you've said that you are gender fluid, but I've really only seen the more feminine side of you. Or the characteristics of yours that I've seen, I've interpreted through a feminine framework. Yeah, that's the good way to say that without stepping on any landmines. I don't alter my speech to try to not be offensive, by the way. I alter my speech to not hurt people's fucking feelings. I know that those two things are supposed to mean the same thing, but they stopped meaning the same thing in like 2014, 2015. So when I say something or reword it because it sounds offensive, it's because I just don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You look like Justin Bieber. I found an image yesterday that is... Never mind, we're not even going to go there. I feel bad for you if you look like Justin Bieber. That's not a good spot to be as a boy. It's not a good spot. Anytime my hair ended up that length, I was ridiculed. So, there's things... Oh man, this is so interesting. Okay. Alright, guys. This isn't our talk. But we're about to get into a talk. Okay. Should I put up a subject box? I don't even know if I know what the subject is. Here. Alright. I'm putting a subject box. Alright, guys. Here we go. Okay, guys. This is a tough, weird one. Oh, with the snap filter. Okay. Here's the thing. All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. So, this is covered. This is already covered in feminism. But we're going to approach this from a direction as though we do not know that, right? Here we go. So there the more I stutter and stammer before getting into something, the bigger it is. So there are assigned female at birth people who want to signal masculinity. Be it because you are transgender, because you are gender fluid, because you are, non-binary, because whatever. whatever your reasoning, there are assigned female at birth individuals who want to signal masculinity. Cool. I'm a man. I'm one of those. I was assigned that at birth, and I never really questioned it, and I've always just been that. I mean, I have a lot of androgynous style choices, but let's set that aside for a second. So there are ways in which women will signal masculinity that to a man does not really signal the most masculine of masculinities that one could signal. So, for example, if you look like Justin Bieber, if you are a boy, if you are a cis boy, and you look like Justin Bieber, and I mean Justin Bieber in his, baby, ooh era, not his weird buff, I'm gonna pee in a mop bucket era, okay? But his current, or his former era, right? If you look like Justin Bieber with the bowl cut and the thing, and you are a boy, other boys are going to ridicule you to no fucking end. You will be the subject of every arrow they fucking have. Because they want to prove their masculinity. And the easiest way for a guy to prove his masculinity is to pick out the least masculine guy in the room and punch him around a little. So what happens when that guy is not a man assigned at birth? So you have a bully, essentially, or someone who is of moderate levels of masculinity who's wanting to try to signal greater masculinity to a group. They've picked out an easy target, someone of lesser masculine value who they can push around. However, that target is not the same gender as them. Do you then get a different treatment? Abso-fucking-lutely. Are you kidding me? This is not to at all take away from any difficulties that trans people deal with. This is to establish another one. I'm not trying to say, boo-hoo, poor boys get it so bad if they look feminine. And if a girl tries to look masculine and looks like a feminine boy, she doesn't get it as bad. So boo-hoo for real boys. I mean, it's that minus all the boo-hooing. You know what I mean? It's just a true thing. That you have men, cisgendered men, who are looking to prove their masculinity, who have already been indoctrinated with the concept that a man should never be violent against a woman only, right? Men can be violent against men because that's manly. Your experience of masculinity as a female who is signaling those things will never be authentic. You will always be treated differently by men unless they fully fucking believe that you are a cisgendered man. So can your experience of masculinity ever be an authentic experience of masculinity? What is the authentic experience? Is it mine? Being bullied and made fun of because I was skinnier than everyone else? Is it a friend of mine's who was never bullied and never got in a single fight in his life because he was just a middleweight, not interesting looking person at all? Is it tough alpha boy who's got to, put everyone down and be a dick and neg all the girls? Is that the authentic experience of masculinity? The whole concept is silly, right? The whole concept of, I put on, Buck Angels talked about this. Really? So Buck Angel is someone I'm very fucking interested in. Buck Angel is a female to male trans person who is very controversial. A very controversial person. There's a lot of people in the trans community who really don't fucking like Buck Angel, and I don't fully understand it. So I'm just going to put that disclaimer out there. I don't know what the controversy fully is, but I do know that name, and that's very interesting. And I think vice versa. Everything I'm saying about masculinity would also be true about femininity. If I tried to be a woman, I would have a different experience than a cisgendered woman. That is, oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't fly very well with the trans community. Differentiating into transsexual gets into transmedicalism, which is to say that if you don't have the money for the procedure, you're not really a man or a woman. You're trapped forever is the other thing, because you're poor. So I do understand what that controversy is. And therefore, this is why we say trans men are men, trans women are women, without transmedicalism and without transsexualism and without pre-op, post-op. Because we don't want to say that just because you can't afford to have your genitals rearranged, you are not the gender you think you are. That's really fucking unfair. But yeah, you make a really good point there too. The experience of someone who has transitioned is not the experience of someone who has not transitioned. Oh man, here's another real interesting one. Certain transmedicalists do not like the concept that we should abolish gender, because that invalidates the concept that they believe they are the other of a binary gender system. So if I say, I am a woman inside, and you respond, there's no such thing as man and woman, these are concepts, these are social constructs, then what does that mean about the feeling I have inside? Is it not real? Fuck you. So yeah, that's a weird fucking tricky issue that as a cis person, there is only so much I can ever understand about it from a academic point of view. There's also the whole thing with being bisexual versus being pansexual. And I don't remember the particulars, but something about that invalidates the trans experience too, where you say, no, I want a man or a woman, not something in between. It's a fucking weird, that's a weird world, wacky, wild world of human sexuality and gender. But to the point that I wanted to make specifically, right? Lumi, I'm going to use you as an example, okay? Just because I need a name, okay? So Lumi says, I am a man today. I feel masculine today, all right? And she dresses up in masculine clothing. And I dress up how I normally dress, androgynously. And we go out together. One of us is more masculine looking than the other. Like there's a certain amount of you never gonna be able to hit the mark just because I guess this does weigh further towards the end of transmedicalism, right? You are not going to be treated. Oh, fuck. This goes back to when I said, like, is it okay for you to do things in public sexually with other people? All right. We know you will not be treated as a man at large by public. Are you then more interested in the position you will be given in your community and society as a masculine or feminine figure? Or are you more interested in the feeling that you are going to have when you're sitting on your couch alone in the living room? Because to the feeling you have when you are alone, I would say it is going to be very, 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 very hard for you to approach the median or mean of masculine life experience. Very fucking difficult. Now, that is to say there's a lot of masculine life experiences. Tons. Mine is more so toward the feminine end of the spectrum. There are tons of friends I've had that were more so toward the masculine end. And I know that these bands overlap in some end where we start to talk about very masculine looking women and very feminine looking men, right? You start to have an overlap. But again, we're talking about two things at once. We're talking about one's assessment of themselves and one's label as defined by society. However, if your assessment of yourself comes entirely from qualifications that were instilled in you by your community and your society. So you have to eschew these, you have to drop them, you have to imagine that they're not real in order to sit in a room alone and have a masculine experience. Or you have to acknowledge that your concept of a masculine experience descends from the community archetype of what a masculine experience is. And if that is true, then there is a community archetype for what the masculine experience is. How close do you fit it? The further away you are, the less masculine of an experience you're going to have in your life. So there's only so much I can reach. Even if I shave my head, start fucking working out every day, you know what I mean? There's only so much I'm going to reach because of my bone structure, my face structure, of being treated manly, right? But all of that comes from society. All of that does. So we're talking about an Ouroboros. How can I ever detach myself from that and say the gender is a societal construct and I'm just going to reconstruct that without acknowledging or... Okay, so I guess that's the idea. As a society, we are restructuring that without permission of those who do not wish to, because they're wrong. Fuck them. And so we seek to restructure society into a way in which if you don these certain symbols of masculinity, your experience of masculinity will be somewhat authentic. But geez, man, that is very nuanced, isn't it? I mean, like, I feel like this is simulacrum, right? This is an imitation of an imitation. If you do that, if you pretend to be male, you are imitating those who are pretending to be male, because it's all societal construct. There was no male to begin with. You're imitating people who are pretending. And then you're saying that their pretend universe isn't true. Well, no universe is true. I guess I'm more stuck on the informational concept. Right? Like, definitely, yes. There's different ethnicities, different cultures, different, I mean, God, I just watched that thing about a society in which the men are allowed to basically take a vow of abstinence and celibacy, and if they do, they are given female pronouns, and they are not expected to participate in all these other issues in their society. They're basically treated like a nun, like a woman who's just not gonna fuck, but they're a dude. They have a dick. So I was watching interviews with one of them, and he was like, or she was like, I'm glad I chose this life. They're allowed to choose it when they're like 13 to 18 or something. And she was like, I'm glad I chose this life because I didn't want all those other responsibilities. This is the life I wanted. No one in our society is gonna, maybe, okay? When I say no one or everyone, I never actually mean no one or everyone, okay? No one in our society is going, you know what? I want to be treated like a woman, but I want to be treated like a woman in New Guinea is treated, right? You are agreeing with your societal construct of a gender by imitating a gender. If you say, I want to signify and symbol masculinity, you validate that society's view of what masculinity is. This man who chose to be a woman and abstinent validated his culture's view of what it means to be a woman, because we would never look at that and go, yeah, that's femininity, that's womanhood. No. Our culture doesn't agree with that concept in the slightest. So when you enter into the framework of this totally is simulacrum shit. So there is a huge difference between being told you are this is how you should behave, and either embracing or rejecting it. There's case one, very different than seeing what someone else is told they are, rejecting what you have to choose to reject in that first framework. I reject what you assign me. I see someone else's assignment and I choose that one. I feel like that validates the assignment that was put on the other person. It validates the concept of these assignments in and of themselves entirely. Can you resocialize yourself at such a deep level? Yeah. This requires a restructuring of society. And I fully endorse and agree with and think that's where we are. We are in it right now with things like fucking all men are kings, all men are men, all women are women, trans men are men, trans women are women, trans rights. Like, these things are us in the throes of where individuals looked at the framework and said, I'm going to subvert it. You finally had enough people who were so far out of the framework that we could reappropriate their ideas back into the larger framework. So as a community, we could start to see more in their way, which were these things. And that's what we're trying to do. But you have these individuals, right? Like, society is moving at a fucking tortoise speed. And then you have individuals that are like, I'm polygender, I'm a universe gender, call me Zer. And they're not wrong. but their expectation is very strange, because when they do that, and maybe that's the best example to use, okay? Like furkin and stuff like that, right? When you do that, you've got to know that society will, in your lifetime, never treat you like that thing. You will always be treated like an imitation of that thing. And are you opting for that life when you choose to imitate the thing? If I said, I'm going to choose to imitate a vampire, okay? But no one is ever going to actually treat me like I'm a real vampire, right? Like no one's going to run away from me in terror because they think that I'm actually going to drain their blood, right? So when I make that choice to imitate a vampire, am I making that choice? Or am I making the choice to be a thing that society will treat kind of like a vampire, but not fully? Am I choosing to be a thing society will treat as a simulation of a vampire, seen as performative? And I think that that might be where that right-wing thought comes from. Is this is not to validate it at all, this is just to explore it, is to say you can't ever be a vampire, right? Or you can't ever actually switch your gender to being you are now cisgender of the other one. You've gone back in time and changed your birth gender so that you would always and forever have been treated like an actual the other one, right? So, but I think that this is where the more right-minded or right-wing, like, I can't even think of the word, opposition to this idea comes from, is to say, it's not true, it's unrealistic, and you're asking me to add an additional layer onto my performance. We're all performing. We are all performing. When a man walks up to me, I perform the task, and I perform the treatment of that person as a man. So then, when a woman walks up to me, dressed as a man, I must performatively treat her as an imitation of a man, because I can never treat her as an actual man with the way society is structured. And I think that that creates a cognitive dissonance in these people, that they just outright reject the whole thing, rather than saying, no, I'm just going to try to treat this person as the thing, not a simulation of the thing. I'm not going to try and treat this person as someone imitating a woman. I'm going to treat it as a woman. And I think that that is a big split for some people, where they're just like, but I could never. It has existed, right? But as soon as you reveal it to someone, now it might be now it's a problem. You're adding an extra step, and it's like, you were already taking that step. You were already pretending that everyone you met was the gender you thought they were. This was already a performance. I'm just asking you to keep performing? And they're like, but this performance isn't as real as the other performance. None of it's real. None of it's real. Yeah, but if you add extra layers of not real on top, it makes it even more not real. No. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is just 0. None of it's fucking real. It doesn't matter. Just treat people good, right? But like, that I think is very difficult for some people. And to my very first point, I think that to me, I'm sure there are people who have written about this at length, illuminates a struggle that trans people have to go through in their treatment, in that they are idolizing being treated as a person, or maybe not, maybe I'm totally wrong with this, of the opposite gender. Maybe they don't care about being treated that way. Maybe they literally just want to see themselves that way. But with the eye that society has given them, that is fucking hard. I don't know how you drop society's definitions and just go into your own world and have that not be mental illness as defined by creating problems in your life, not defined by there being something wrong with you, right? But just like the amount of issues that causes when your definitions of things start to stray so far from society's, but you have to, because there's no other way to pull society that direction aside from these people that are super like 2 or 3 deviations away from the standard. We all have things we know that we don't know, things we know that we don't know, and things that we don't know, known knowns and unknown knowns, unknown unknowns, known unknowns and unknown unknowns. Yeah, that's what it is. I know I don't know this. I have no idea I don't know this. I know this. I didn't realize I know it. Yeah. Yeah. It is a weird one. It is this whole thing is very. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Like it's so great that Boondocks did that, because like that's a real thing you have to learn in Logic 101, and is like, cool, I already have that. Yeah. No nuns. I got this. Terrorism. Those 2 characters are so fucking great too on Boondocks. The white guys who pretend to be like thugs, but actually still have high collegiate level educations. God damn it. God fucking damn it. So to stick this point, to stick a pin in this point that we just so randomly jumped into, because my friend is gender fluid, and then they said that they look like Justin Bieber when they are more masculine, which I was trying to say, damn, that fucking sucks, because anytime in my life I've looked like Justin Bieber, I was ridiculed mercilessly and got in fist fights. And you won't have that experience. You'll just think you look silly as Justin Bieber. And I don't think it's right that I got beat up or that I had to fight people over how I looked. I just want others to have the perspective I gained through that process, not have the process happen to them. But I don't know what perspective that is, aside from masculinity be hella toxic. And that's why I started off with, this is covered by feminism. All of this is covered in Feminism 3.0. It's just an angle of it that people experience from a very personal level. You know what I mean? How am I going to treat this person, or how does the treatment of me change based on my actions or how I dress or the symbols that I signify? So yeah, like I just think that's really all I can say. Oh, well, yeah, but no, I mean, okay, looked like a kid at his age and people were just judging a 13-year-old boy, a male. I'm not judging Bieber. I'm judging everyone I went to high school with who had a Justin Bieber haircut. And we would say, why you got that Justin Bieber haircut? And they'd be like, it's not a Justin Bieber haircut. And you'd be like, dude, hold on. Let me go find you a fucking picture of Justin Bieber. It was a popular cut. But Justin Bieber was to boys the same thing Hanson was. Do we have to go into this angle? Fuck. Okay. Okay, so there's two different archetypes of sensitive guy. Okay? There is Don Juan DeMarco. Okay? There's the most interesting man in the universe, or whatever the fuck his name was, right? There's the troubadourish, I've collected bits of everything, so I have poetry within me, but I have battle scars as well. Then there's the flowery, I've lived in a tower and written poetry my whole life, feminine man. That one is poison to masculinity. If you let anyone think you have that in you, your ranking goes down in your social group. If they think you're that kind of sensitive. There's sensitive enough to write a woman a love letter. Then there's sensitive enough to write in a diary about my love for a woman. That's a bitch. That's a bitch-made guy. The other one, that's a player. That's a player. Okay, so Bieber represented bitch-made. So if you had any qualities of Bieber, you had the qualities of someone who was bitch made. So we're going to treat you that way. Why are you dressing this way? You make a choice when you go buy clothing. Now you don't because socioeconomics, but when you're a teenager and you're mean, you make this choice. You chose to come to school dressed like this. You knew I'd make fun of you if you looked like Justin Bieber, and you still wore that goddamn haircut. Because being a girl is degrading. Yes, generally. Right? So it's not that we were judging Bieber, necessarily. We were vicariously through assigning Bieber qualities to guys and judging them for it. Right? You don't get that haircut unless you're a bitch. What do? Sit and listen to Justin Bieber all night while you're writing in your diary? Right? If you weren't that guy, you wouldn't have a Justin Bieber haircut. You'd go, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want people putting that on me. And that actually is what I was getting at originally with this conversation. Right? Is the thin line between I look this way to symbol certain things or to signify certain things, but I want to ignore other signals that this thing has, while still acknowledging its power to signal the first thing. And I feel like that's a little unfair. You can't have a Justin Bieber haircut because you want girls to think that you're sensitive, but then also expect that guys aren't going to make fun of you for being sensitive, i.e., having a Justin Bieber haircut. Let people enjoy things would be a really nice solution to this. And again, I have to say this over and over and over because this is so important. When I say these things, it is to acknowledge what I think are current states of existence, not to say that they are good or that we should strive toward these things. When I say you're going to go out looking like that, knowing that men are going to make fun of you, it is true. Is it right that those men make fun of you? No, it's terrible. It's fucked up. And I want us to do things that move society away from being like that. But at the same time, I want to protect you. Okay? I want to hug you and hold you and put you in a little cocoon where you are safe from the things that I went through because they fucking sucked. So when I tell you, don't go outside with that Justin Bieber haircut, you're going to get ridiculed to shit. Unless you want to get ridiculed, why would you go out with the haircut on? If it means that much to you, that you are willing to exchange that, and that trade is worth it for you, I get it. You know? And if you're like, no, I want this haircut. This haircut's who I am. Justin Bieber or no. I want you to be happy with that. And I want you to be able to go out and not be ridiculed. You know what I mean? So I'm going to tell you, hey, people are going to give you shit for that haircut. I'm going to help you find ways to, I don't know, maybe defend yourself, or to alter the haircut a little bit if you're going to a certain event where you don't want to make a big scene about looking like Justin Bieber. Like random, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna try and help my friends in whatever individual ways that we can, while we still all, as a group, voice, ask for societal change. You know what I mean? We want people to not be ridiculed for this. Don't go outside in that or you're gonna get made fun of, dude. We want people to not get ridiculed for this. Seriously, do you want to get beat up? Don't go out there with that on. Right? And it's kind of this weird doublespeak that is really shitty. And it's hard for people to understand, I imagine. It's a nice cut. Why did every lesbian love Justin Bieber and that haircut? What happened? What was that about? Again, when I say every, I don't mean every. I just use these words. But there were a lot of fucking lesbians that loved Justin Bieber and his haircut. A wee cut? So that's... Oh, a W for W cut. It signified something in there. So yeah, I'm going to end this video there. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, hey, why aren't you dressed like a vampire? It's because I'm showing off my new shirts today. They dirty. They got some adult imagery. So check them out. You can go to shop.howls.cc. I think you can also still go to shop.mrbones.zone. Either of those will get you back to my shop where you can buy all sorts of shirts with anime girls in mostly undressed states, possibly with ice cream on their face. Aside from that, we're doing another video today, but when we got into this, I was like, I need to hit record because this is a big, crazy thing. And I'm still stuck on it's simulacrum. It's a person imitating an imitation. And that is insane to me. And now I need to reread that book. Cool. So we are supposed to talk about living with anxiety, but I got totally sidetracked by Justin Bieber haircut. Not on the record, now that I'm not recording. If you clip this and use it out of context, it could look bad. When I was younger, very much said, what is the difference between someone who thinks they are the other gender or someone who thinks they are Napoleon? When I was young, that was my thought. I was like, isn't this basically body dysmorphia? They see themselves in a different person than they are. Like these are mental illnesses we already have names for. Then I came around to the concept of it's not a mental illness if it doesn't cause problems in your life. And there's no reason why wanting to be the other gender should cause any fucking problems in your life. So, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Like, what? Why do I care? Why do I care? Why do I care? Be your thing. Be happy. Being Napoleon would cause problems because you're not that person. Being a different gender is irrelevant. Is fucking irrelevant to everything except for maybe a doctor who is going to not look at your gender on your ID. They're gonna, if you're in a hospital unconscious, they're gonna rip your pants off. They're real quick gonna figure out what's going on. So the whole concept that like this is an issue because of doctor, no, it's not. It's not. The only realm in which this is like an issue where we could have an honest and open debate for real about things that haven't really been fucking decided by science already is trans people in the Olympics and sports. And it's because the Olympics and sports are fucked and need to be reorganized because it should have nothing to do with gender and military. Yeah, that goes back and forth. Fuck. I forgot we pulled that back too. The gays in sports. I'm imagining like the people being upset about gays in sports and being like, well, I'm not going to run next to him. What if the whole time we're running, he's looking at my dick? So the Olympics thing I think is a very interesting argument, right? Like because men have higher bone density, thicker muscle mass, so you have something like weightlifting. Yeah, we've got lots of doggos here. You have something like weightlifting, and you can have a man and woman of the same weight, and the man can lift more. So if you have someone who is transitioned into being a man, a trans man, and a cis man, in theory, the trans man can lift less. Sorry. The cis man can lift more because, and a lot of this has to do, from what I understand, with puberty. Going through puberty as a man or a woman vastly changes your fucking bone and muscle density to the point where it actually becomes very hard to transition after the fact. And it's specifically male puberty. Male puberty makes radical changes to your body. From what I understand, this could be, any one of these little facts I'm saying could be off by a little bit, but I think that the main point still stays true. Where it's like, and yeah, absolutely. Like you said, you're stronger than a lot of dudes. So that's like a weird, like, okay, right now it's by weight. So you would be paired off with dudes that are your weight, except those dudes have spent the last 20 plus years doing nothing but lifting weights. So could you ever lift as much weight as a weightlifter of your weight division, male or female? Hell no. Fucking no way. Now, if you and me both worked out every day for the rest of our lives, which one of us would be stronger? There's so many factors when you get into the individual level that suddenly it's just like irrelevant. I don't know. You might be a lot stronger than me. Yeah, I went through puberty as a boy, but now I have a disability. So I haven't been exercising. You would start off further ahead than me. Like, so many different, yeah, There are women such as myself that could have additional exposure to testosterone in utero, also diseases such as polycystic ovary syndrome that can cause more testosterone. I didn't know that that causes more testosterone to be made. Body is still seen as a woman, have breasts, and that's what's considered normal genitalia. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I make the point that, like, you and I could work out every day for the next 5 years, and you could be stronger than me. You could gain muscle faster than I do. And some of that has nothing to do with testosterone, because I've seen tons of research on T-tests and how little it has to do with, like, muscle mass later on in life. Like, it has a lot to do with it in puberty, but later on in life, there's so many other factors going on when it comes to building muscle mass. Testosterone is one factor. Like, you can't just go get a testosterone patch from your doctor and suddenly gain muscle at twice the speed. It's not a steroid like that. Like, you might gain muscle a weensy bit faster, and you're going to be more aggressive and have hair in weird spots. Like, that's not just a secret spinach that fucking Popeye takes and lifts the fucking weights. Like yourself, who has thinner frame tends to not be as muscular as someone who has a heavier frame. Endomorph, mesomorph, ectomorph was this term, where, yeah, you have short, squat, wide, tall, thin, and lanky, average. And I'm tall, thin, and lanky. So I'm likely to be taller, maybe likely to be better at basketball than the next guy over. But we all know that there's leagues full of people who are better at it than me. So does my advantage mean anything? Probably not. In fact, there are probably people in the NBA who are shorter than me. It doesn't mean I'm going to dunk on them. I can't even dribble. And so, yeah, that whole argument is very funny to me, because as soon as you start to investigate sports from the perspective of, well, then let's just talk about people of the same gender. There's two guys. One is twice as big as the other. How is this fair? Oh, well, it's not. That's why some athletes are worth more. Well, then just let fucking women and trans men compete and let them fuck the chips fall where they may. Then, what's the problem? Or restructure sports to not be imbalanced like this, where it's like based on a fucking point system and your team can only have so many points, and, like, I don't know. So yeah, I find that whole thing to be very interesting. I've watched several long debates and arguments about trans people in sports. Serena and Venus Williams could easily play male tennis players in the world. I'd be very interested to see how those matches would turn out. What was the super famous tennis match, male versus female? And didn't she win? There was a famous one of this in, like, the 70s or something, or 60s or 80s. I just remember shitty cameras. Or like that weird high saturation camera that they have with the shit grain. But yeah, like, she beat him. Now, I guess some people would be like, well, tennis is a sport of finesse more than, like, deadlifting. But okay. Battle of the Sexes 73, Riggs versus King. Thank you very much. Grandma, did you watch the Riggs versus King tennis match?
Oh, years ago, yeah.
What did you think about it?
What do you mean, what did I think about it?
Well, was it like a big deal? Were people talking about it and hyping it up, or was it just like not a big thing?
Really hyping it up, yeah.
Did most people expect the guy to win?
Yeah.
Did you watched it live? Yeah. What did you think when she won?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. But she's very masculine.
Right.
She's, I think she's gay, actually, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she is.
We're talking about how some women can just be bigger and more masculine than some guys.
Yeah.
Like, so transitioning, when people are like, how can someone transition genders and then be in a sport? Well, there's guys that are bigger than me in sports. There's girls that are bigger than me in sports. What are you talking about? So that was one of the points we were talking about.
Yeah, she wasn't that tall, but she was a very muscular girl. She was athletic, let's put it
Yeah.
that way. Very
Yeah.
athletic.
Yeah.
Now, I saw a lady walking through Walmart just now. I thought it was a guy from the back with long hair. And got around, and it was a lady. So I thought, wow, she could lift
Big,
the cart.
tough
She could
looking
lift
thing.
the cart.
Yeah, well,
So, you know.
yeah.
No.
That's why it's silly. You can't even
It was
tell
kind of a thing
to
of the
begin with.
sexist, though.
Right, because it was in 73.
Yeah, where it
Yeah.
just shows that women can do things, you know, that they are capable of beating guys. That's what it kind of rolled down to.
Yeah.
Because it's always said that guys are stronger, everything, than women. Well, no, it was a real good thing.
Holy shit. Okay, wait a minute, guys. King okay, Bobby Riggs is the guy, all right? All right. So King is the female. King entered the court in the style of Cleopatra on a feather-adorned litter carried by 4 bare-chested muscle men dressed in the style of ancient slaves. Riggs followed in a rickshaw drawn by a bevy of models. Riggs presented King with a giant sugar daddy lollipop, and she responded by giving him a squealing piglet, symbolic of male chauvinism. The theatrics of that is just fucking great on both sides. On both sides, that's just fucking funny that this dude enters in drawn by a bunch of models after she comes in like carried by slave men. That's fucking funny. Had he won, then it would be really shitty. But that he lost makes it funny to me that he comes in like that. Interesting. Riggs deliberately lost the match based on his unusually poor play. Huh. Interesting. Now, I am of the opinion that everything counts. Okay? So if you have a bunch of gambling debts that make you throw the match, you are not as good of a tennis player as I am. Because my skill at tennis involves not acquiring gambling debts. So guess I'm better than you. So I still give it to her. If he threw it because he was a fucking gambler, don't be one. And you'll win at tennis. It sounds like the best way for you to get better at tennis is to stop gambling. But that is a logic that can lead to some dark places. Sounds like a personal issue to me. Because I've said things as terrible as, well, how is it white people's fault that natives didn't invent guns? Yeah. We walk back on those. We walk back on some of those. This is, again, okay, something I didn't understand for a very long time. That is a pretty spicy meatball. Something I didn't understand for a very long time, and something I stressed during the conversation that we just did about gender, right, is that things being so doesn't make them right. It is true that Europeans came with guns and horses. It is so that their technology was simply more advanced. Therefore, nothing. Therefore, nothing. That's that. To say, therefore, they deserved to take over this land from these other people? Whoa. Why? Well, because might makes right. Okay, well, now we see the fucking problem there. Right? You know what I mean? So if you don't believe in that, then it's really tricky to be like, in fact, there's some accounts that Native Americans thought they were gods. Absolutely. Dude, I show up. None of your weapons can penetrate me. If I have a helmet on, I don't necessarily look like a human. A lot of helmets were designed to look like animal heads of different shapes and stuff like that. I have weapons that can cut through your armor like butter. I have technology that can start fires, that I can, like different rations that we had that were better than traveling food that they had. I have a horse. I speak in a foreign tongue. None of this looks good. None of this looks good to me if I'm a Native American and I meet this person. It's like, oh, fuck, you're a monster, aren't you? That's what this is. This is a monster. This is a thing that pops out of the darkness with giant, scary claws and fucking kills me. So yeah, if you want my bananas, I'll give them to you. That was more in the South American area than the North America, but still. Yeah, man, like, there definitely was that. And again, there's a part of me that wants to say, well, then that's part of the advantage that they were given. This is one big game of Risk. And Europeans had that advantage. That these guys thought they were fucking gods because they're stupid. If they had done better about inventing written word earlier and stopped passing on oral traditions that made them incapable of utilizing the resources on their land in an effort to defend themselves from outside imperialists, your civilization failed the process of evolution. You are one of the mutations that didn't make it. Don't make a civilization like that. It will be crushed. That's like making a human with no skin. Oh, well, in a perfect world, a human wouldn't need skin. Well, guess what? We're not in a fucking perfect world. In a perfect world, you don't need to invent military defenses. But guess what? White people are coming and knocking on that goddamn door with knights. With actual knights that have guns, too. But our watery parts, I know, they just all fall out. And that's why, yeah, there's a part of me that sees that logic, that sees the hyper-competitive zero-sum game nature of imperialism, of the ending to the movie Hero, right? Hero is about a lot of things, but there's a guy who's trying to unite China through force. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. But China is a bunch, of different colonies, basically. And he is going through fucking taking them over and being like, no, you're not whatever you were before. You're part of China. And in the end, one of the main characters proposes that this could be what's best for China. Individuals might be upset, but China is now a nation. Right. So, like, I get the concept of the consolidation of lands and people from the wilds into civilized society is something. Again, I feel like this is an immune system kind of thing. This is a If the world was perfect, this wouldn't need to happen. But it's not. And there's assholes out there who want to take over your shit. So unite. Give up your culture. It's not worth it. Unite. One giant thing. But I'm a socialist. I'm a communist. So I tend to think that this goes all the way up to the UN. Unite the fucking world. One fucking government. Why do we have a bunch of countries with different laws? Do we not agree what's right? Clearly we don't. So it's a weird logic. Aliens came here, they're not going to give a fuck about what country you're from. Yeah, they are not. What? What a matter? Your paws are soaking wet. So I'm real big on that. There's an anime called Code Geass, and the second season is very much about that. Oh, Michi treat time. The second season is very much about that. The main character starts doing all these military actions as a bad guy to unite the world. And his plan is that his best friend will kill him once he's united everyone. So that the power vacuum in a world united would create maybe a democracy. Oh, it's treat time. It's treat. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. You gotta come up in my lap. Come on. Come here. Ah, you lazy little girl. Hey. Is that good? What was that little burp? Go. There's so much love for you on the internet. Her shoes. I like when she won't take it from me. So she'll like keep nibbling on it and then going back. No. Reaching up for it. I can't reach it. Michi, you know, just jump in my goddamn lap. You know how to do this. Okay. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Then we're going to enter our actual talk about living with anxiety. And I have no notes prepared, but I have a lot to say. Yeah, I'll be right back. Let's smoke some weed first, too. Lumi, what state do you live in again? I've forgotten if you did tell me. My question is actually, is weed legal there? Oops. Shit. Need a good font for this. That's good. Living with anxiety. I think maybe I'm gonna go something like that. Go all the way over. No. Boop, 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 boop. Before I start recording, is there any information I need to look over? Is there anything not already in my head about living with anxiety? I really like this format of openly recording YouTube videos, of like even announcing, okay, I'm going to hit record now. And then like talking as though I'm on a YouTube video once I do that. It's been good for my brain. It's easy to get confused with what you're doing when you make a lot of different content. Mindfulness. I got a call back from my doctor's office last night, and it was the dude who I had originally talked to. And he's like, hey, I called you back yesterday, but I wasn't able to leave a message. I just wanted to let you know. I was like, I already called in and found out everything, dude. Oh, okay. So that was nice, I guess. Why couldn't he leave a message? I don't understand. Should that be red? I know I nitpick very strange things. Like so it matches the live. That-ish. Me doing it and then you agreeing validates my nitpickiness. Now I'm like, aha, aha, aha. Yeah, I've really liked this format now. Like now that I'm getting it in my head. Like we chat, we talk. I go, okay, I'm gonna, let's change it to white for a second. Because I was messing with white. It's the clearest if it's white. In fact, that looks really good. That looks best. Just clear. Just clear and readable. Rather than make another stylistic choice. Right now I have a lot of clear readable stuff, so it's good. The subject box makes me really happy. So that way we can officially be on certain topics when people come in. They know what we're talking about. And yeah, I'm happy about how things are going at the moment. It was weird to come on today. I kept being like, I gotta go do my makeup. Wait, I'm not gonna be in my costume. I'm just gonna be hanging out in my shirt. She's in the background. I heard her. I heard the way I heard her though. She must be in the hallway meowing at grandma or the dogs. She spends most of her time in the hallway now, laying on the tile, watching the living room, which is nice. She's expanded her territory. She also goes in grandma's room and explores around a lot, in the bathroom and explores around a lot. So that this half of the house she's cool with now. But going through the living room means going through where all like 5 dogs are, and there's one of them that like just eyeballs her and scares her to death. So she doesn't do that. She just hangs out in the hallway and stops the dogs from going through the hallway by hitting them in the face. Just smacking them right upside their dumb heads, their dumb dog heads. I need another dab, then I'll be ready. A second dab will do ya. Yeah. Tonight or tomorrow, while I'm live, I'm going to record my commercial that plays when I'm offline. So we'll do as many takes as we need to get it right. And how the hell did that happen? At least there's a top coat, you know what I mean? So you're fine. You just need to put a little bit of top coat on to fill, right? That should be good. Chrome wears off quicker on the tips of the nails. Yeah. I kind of imagined that because this stuff is that powder shit.
Here's your reminder.
Alexa, thank you, stop. That because it was that powder, it could, yeah, anywhere where the top coat stuff comes off, that's just going to disintegrate. It's just going to poof. But I do still want to get it for miniatures. After we do our talk about anxiety, we're going to paint some minis. It'll be cool. Actually, I'm not. Might have to change my shirt if I'm gonna do that. Oh, that sucks. I bet. It was a long day for you. A long 2 days. Not a lot of recovery. But that's why you get so many days off, right? So that way you have plenty of time to recover. Hopefully that storm or whatever's fucking with your leg clears quick. I was looking today at the map. Let's look at the map. So, I mean, you're not in anything too terrible, like I am. What is a G-tube? What is a G-tube? Oh, yikes. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. A feeding tube. Okay. Gastro tube? Gastrotomy? No. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to just put together the Latin roots I know into something. Oh, speaking of tummies, mine's hurting. Why am I recording? Gastronomy. Hey there, Callie. We are just getting started with our talk about anxiety. Today, we're going to discuss living with anxiety for a little bit. Okay? So, real quick, before we get started, if you're watching on YouTube, check it out. Check it out. I got a shirt. I got new shirts. This one is one of the ones. You can go to shop.howls.cc. I think you can still go to shop.mrbones.zone. They'll both take you to the same place. That's Shop Mr. Bones on Etsy. And I sell all sorts of cool shirts and shower curtains and bedspreads and you name it about hentai girlies with ice cream on their face. Now that that's settled. Excuse me. Let's talk about anxiety. So, what we want to talk about specifically is the process of living with anxiety. What is that not? That is not, how do I get rid of my anxiety? Or how do I, that's basically not that. We're basically just going to avoid that, okay? So, I did a discussion on living with depression, and I don't know if I did enough of a service towards a certain point that is going to be the same between both of these, which is that if you are a person who has these types of issues, you are now living with it. You're not getting rid of it. And everything I'm going to say are, in one way or another, essentially coping mechanisms. Even radically altering your life into such a way that you generate the least stress and depression possible. This is a way that you cope with the truth. Now, I remember another thing that this is not. This is not, and I'm going to kind of reference depression over and over again as well because these are so linked in the way they need to be handled. But this is not, shit, I lost it again. Oh, this is not temporary. This is not, oh, you have a really big test coming up and you're anxious about it. Or as far as depression, you got broke up with and you're sad about it. You lost your job and it sucks. You failed some classes. Yikes. That is shit going wrong in your life. there's a certain amount, and it's very hard for people who have other disabilities, of emotional distress that happens in life to everyone. And this is not to say, so buckle up, Buttercup, because we're all dealing with it. But, and when you say but, you negate everything you said before that. It is. Because it becomes very difficult to deal with separating into which group is which. If you deal with depression or anxiety on the long term, if it's part of your life, essentially, the symptoms are the same when you get broke up with, when you lose your job. You will feel physiologically very, very similar to what you feel when you're having a panic attack for no good reason. When you are in a depressive slump and nothing happened to you, you're just depressed. It will feel the same. And there's no line of demarcation, exactly. And the opposite direction. If you will sometimes sometimes confuse permanent issues with temporary ones, and confuse temporary with permanent. So you might think, oh, I feel this way because I've been single for a really long time. And then you find a relationship and you go, oh, I feel this way because I'm in a shitty relationship. And you get out of it and then you go, oh, I feel this way because I just went through a breakup. Right. Everything has the same importance. And there's something strange too about the concept when you're dealing with anxiety and depression. It's almost like pain with nerves, right? Like it only goes up so high, but we'll get there. So, but it's very hard to determine, is this a 1 or is this an 8? And is this something that's going to go away in a week? Or is this something that's going to be with me forever? However, we are speaking to issues of permanence. We are speaking about and towards people who deal with anxiety and depression and these negative feelings. When I say negative, I mean they're harmful to you. When you have these feelings, it is either because something harmful is happening in your life, or these feelings can cause harmful things as well. So that's why they're negative feelings, right? So you could, let's go to the concept of actually, having to deal with this forever versus temporarily. You generally will know this by your late teens, early 20s. By that point, anxiety manifests in most cases to those who are physiologically predisposed to it. There are various things that could happen that cause your body to be more inclined towards panic, anxiety, and stress. You could release more cortisol than other people. You could release adrenaline easier and faster than other people. We're all different. All our bodies are made up a little bit different. And where you fall on that natural line is totally different for everyone. Then, the anxious mind may not be able to distinguish in time frame of duration. That's an interesting concept. Okay, but then you may have any sort of biological predisposition towards a certain level of anxiety or stress, and then also trauma, right? I can put you in a den full of snakes when you're a baby and scare the crap out of you with snakes, and then when you're in your 30s, I put you in the room with a snake. Your heart rate's going to go up. You're going to feel stressed out. You're not choosing this. but it's gonna happen to you, okay? And that's not necessarily your biological makeup. I did that to you. I traumatized you with a snake. You didn't ask for this, okay? So you are at some level of natural anxiety, right? Let's say we have two people here, okay? We have someone who doesn't get anxious at all very often, and we have someone who's just constantly chewing their fucking fingernails off, right? And I traumatize both of them with snakes. Then I return 5 years later with snakes. We measure their responses. Well, both of them will have a response. You traumatized them. That's coming back. However, the person who's less inclined towards anxiety biologically may not have as much of a response. The person who's more inclined is going to have far greater of one than a normal person. So you're mixing, or you're intersecting your environment and your biology. It's epigenetics. So Cottonmouth. Here's some fucking epigenetics for you. So you then you have that mixture and you become an adult. Yay! Hooray! Where's my sound effect? Yeah! You perfect. So you then look back and you measure your level of anxiety and you go, oh fuck, I'm an anxious person. My anxiety is causing me problems. Whatever mix of biology and trauma happened, this is who you are. Now we said this is not someone who is uncertain they're going to be able to keep their job. That's something to be anxious about. Anyone's going to be anxious about that. I mean, there are people who are, like I said, less inclined towards anxiety, so they may be less anxious about that concept, but that's an environmental factor. We're putting those to the side. You're the type of person, you're sitting in a room all by yourself, and oh fuck, there could be some bad shit going on out there. Okay? If you're that person, then what you need to do to handle that is very, very different than what someone who's just in a shitty situation needs to do. In a shitty situation, you just got to get through it. Just get through it. If you have anxiety constantly, well, let's talk about that. So, like I said, through whatever mixture of genetics and environment, trauma, things like that, and maybe some current environmental factors, and on top of these things, you're worried you might not keep your job. Your boss is firing people a lot and downsizing the company. You're in a bad spot. You're in a pretty bad spot. Have you ever had a panic attack? Some people out there haven't. That's amazing to me. Wait, you've never had a panic attack? This is your first panic attack? Don't worry, you're not having a heart attack. Don't worry, you're not going to die. It feels like you're going to die. I know. Don't worry. Come here. Come here. You're okay, all right? You're okay. You're gonna be okay. That is very, very, very fucking important to remember. It's like you're trapped in a genjutsu, okay? It's a Naruto reference. It's an illusion, right? You need to remember you're going to be okay. It is the fear that the biological response that you're having during a panic attack is going to hurt you, that begins to escalate that more and more and more. You don't want that to happen. The way you stay on that ground floor is to remember that you are okay. Now, environmentally, that may not always be true. You need to get out of that building. You need to leave that house. You gotta quit your partner. They are bad people. You know, you gotta switch jobs. Whatever it is, might be the case. But your anxiety isn't going to kill you. And the panic to want to leave can make people put themselves in an even worse situation, unfortunately. Absolutely. Your anxiety and your panic is actually going to start ruining planning. An anxious mind is not a planning mind. An anxious mind looks for immediate solutions. I need out now. Can this do it? No. Can this do it? No. Fuck. Can this do it? No. Fuck. A non-panicked mind goes, what do I need to fix this? I need that thing. Where can I find it? I'll order one. I'll plan it. It'll show up on Monday. Then I'll be able to do the thing Tuesday. So long as I have all my bags packed and ready. You know, oh, there's absolutely that too. Self-harm, running into a street with traffic. I'm meaning more, yeah, obviously the mental end, which is the getting yourself into maybe one of those situations because you didn't fully plan and you just said, I need to get the fuck out. You jumped in your car, you pulled out of the driveway, and someone hit you because you didn't look at who was coming. You know what I mean? And those do very much intersect as well. So, also, dumping adrenaline, dumping cortisol. Are there others? I'm sure there are others. There's tons of hormones. What's the one that I just learned about that happens to something sites? Leukocytes. Leukocytes? They're hormones that just fuck your shit up. Endocrine? Yeah, okay. All sorts of hormones that, like, when you are stressed, your brain is telling your body, I'm in danger. I need to get out now. And the way your brain motivates you to do certain things is by giving you certain chemical cocktails. So by saying, okay, I'm going to mix this drink for you, and it's going to make you want to go out and get laid, right? This drink is, you need to fucking run. Fucking grab something sharp, run, hide. While you're on that particular arrangement of shit, leukocytes is a fancier term for white blood cells. Oh, well, we fancy around here. So your focus isn't on, like I said, long-term planning, goal setting, strategic accounting of resources, things like that you would need to get out of a larger stressful situation. So even when you're dealing with environmental stress that is not even within you at all, that is just a situation you have to deal with, panic and anxiety doesn't really help you. There are very few scenarios anymore for humans where panic and anxiety are helpful. If you are in the military, maybe there are times when anxiety could save your life. Being anxious about what you want to do might be useful in some life or death scenarios. But if your life isn't on the line, it's pretty much just fucking you up. Because it's an old relic of human ancestry Yeah, absolutely. A lot of military training wants to teach you to not act out of anxiety, to not act out of panic, but to rely on training that was drilled into you. And in fact, it's a really good segue, so we're going to ride it. What can you do when you know you're going to be anxious? So in the military, they're sending you in to fucking kill people, and people want to kill you. It's pretty goddamn reasonable that a human being is going to be pretty stressed out from that one. I don't know if there's too much more stressful of a scenario. But exactly what Sista said. They train you physically to override those sensations and act without interrupting your trained actions with some stressful, anxious behavior, like running or hiding, right? No, I'm supposed to see how many enemies there are. I'm supposed to, reach this place. I'm supposed to acquire this resource. I'm supposed to, and they want you to go into an autopilot that denies those other instincts. So a lot of jobs with high levels of stress, a layperson may not be able to overcome in certain situations. Same in medicine. Absolutely. And in fact, a lot of those jobs, like in medicine, they train you. Like, they not only teach you your craft, which is medicine, but they train you in how to deal with stress because they know it's going to happen. So if we are a stressed out person, right, then like these positions, we can say, I know I'm going to be stressed out. What can I do? While you're not stressed is a really, really fucking good time to learn skills, techniques, and habits to reduce your stress load and to help you in situations of high stress. So we'll come back to that. You are in the middle of a panic attack. You don't have that training. What do we do? Well, my advice is to first try and recognize if the source of the stress is internal or external. Are you afraid of something happening in the future? Is it bodily harm to you? Or is it a social harm? Losing a friend, losing a job, something like that. Are you afraid of that? Or are you afraid of someone harming you physically? If you're afraid of someone harming you physically, then you need to get out of the situation as fast as you can and try and find someone else who can help you, who has a very clear head and is outside of the situation. If you are afraid of some sort of social ramification, that your friends are going to embarrass you or your partner is going to find out that you're not actually confident, and that's an internal source. You might, from that position, even say, no, it's not. So-and-so gave me a look that I knew meant this. And that other person, they didn't answer my phone call. So, but unless someone expressly said to you, I don't like that you did this. I don't approve of your way of life in this realm. I think that you need to do this in the future. That's very different than coming to those conclusions based off of clues, we'll say. Clues are very, very dangerous things for people with anxiety. It is almost better if you find a friend you can rely on, because you are going to see things that aren't real. And you need to be able to look at someone and say, do you see that? Did you see the way they were looking at me? Was it weird? No, man. I don't think they were even looking at you at all. Okay. If you are in a source of external threat, my advice always is try and get out. Try and find someone who can help you. If you are in a source of internal threat, my advice is try and get out. Try and find someone who can help you. Your ability, while you're anxious, to see reality is so clouded. You have to have someone you can trust. So let's say you don't. You don't have anyone in your life that you can trust, that you can go to and say, is this real? And get an answer that you believe. Are you in therapy? Because you should be. I kind of want to just end it there and be like, I'm not giving any more tricks beyond that. Go to therapy. No matter what, in any of these situations, if you get out and talk to a friend and they help you manage the scenario, go to therapy. Go to therapy. My advice is always get in therapy. I just dropped my therapist and I'm telling everyone to go to therapy. I have my reasons. But in therapy, you will learn techniques and skills to help you deal with stress when it is at its worst. Some of those skills. You're in the midst of a panic attack. The biggest thing that they're going to try and teach you in therapy is mindfulness. Mindfulness is, I've talked about it before, and I have lots of reasons for disagreeing with the practice in certain scenarios, but okay. Mindfulness is the concept of accepting what is without being weighed down by what was or what will be or what could be. Mindfulness is to just be with what is. It's very Tao. I've used this example before. You're having a party and a total shitlord that everyone hates somehow got invited. You can make a big scene about kicking them out, or you can just let them chill. The bigger this scene you make, the worse this is going to get. They're going to make a big scene too. It's this concept that mindfulness wants to instill, that when you have something, everyone's going to think I'm ugly. I need to, from that, sit with what is. I look the way I look. This is the kind of life I have. Stressing about trying to escape it just makes things worse. Now, I'm not going to tell you to live in this headspace, because I think that's dangerous. I think that it allows a slow coast downward, constantly accepting the next worst position. Whereas a strive to move upward entails you can still accept where you are and want to move up, right? You're walking up a staircase and you stop. I am on the 9th step. That statement is all mindfulness is trying to get you to say. This is that step. I walked up 8 steps to get here is not really a mindful statement. There are 8 more steps, also not mindful. This is the step I am on. Being in that headspace allows you to let go of those other things. But in order to adjust your place in life, you kind of have to say, well, I want to go up another step. There is at least one other step, and I want to go up it. But that is not the same thing as saying, I refuse to be on the 8th step, the 9th step, whatever step I said I was on. I refuse. I don't acknowledge that that's where I am. I'm in motion. That's a stressful place to be. What do you mean you're in motion? I guess. Stop for a second. And the point is to relax you. That's what I didn't get for a very long time. I thought the point was to be mindful. It's not. Mindfulness is a skill as a means to an end. It is the means of helping you calm down to the ends of allowing you to make better decisions from a calm place where you can evaluate the future and not have it be muddled up with paranoia or anxiety. But to get there, you have to go through this other passage. And that passage is mindfulness and accepting where you are. Once you have that, you can build on top of it. It's not a one or the other. It's you need this, and then you get the other on top of that. So, if you're looking at your life in general, and you have issues with anxiety, you might have the inclination to say, I refuse. I don't want these issues. I'm getting rid of them. But that sounds a lot like the person who says, I refuse to be on a step. I'm in motion. I'm not on the 9th step. I'm getting rid of that position. I'm on the 10th step. Well, I'm not, because I'm also getting rid of that position. Right? It's very, well, it's a lot like that in the sense that if you refuse to accept that you have this quality about you, it's going to rile you up further and further and further. If you just sit and say, I'm feeling very anxious, I'm going to sit with that feeling. That's pretty damn different than trying to fight it. And what you'll find is once you do that, it just seems to always unlock the door to the next level. That just seems to be the quickest way, is to just fall back, is to just fall into your feelings and acknowledge them and just be like, I'm gonna have these feels. I'm working on, a process of building it better and stuff like that, but that process requires me to just acknowledge that I have them and let go. And as soon as you do, all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm scared. Yeah, I'm anxious. Cool. What can I do? I don't like these feelings. Because at the end of the day, they're feelings inside of you. It's you feeling a thing. It's you sitting in a room like this. Watch. I just thought of something happy, something scary, and something sad. Nothing touched me. Nobody influenced me. Nothing. I just did it. Right? But we don't like sad feelings. We don't want to sit and feel those. So we try and craft a life which inspires that the least amount of times, or anxious feelings, as it were. My proposition to you is that it's easier to just learn to live with having the feeling than to try and build a life where it never touches you. It's like trying to live a life where you never get touched by the rain, or just being like, you know what? If I get soaked, then the rain doesn't matter. I'm soaked. So when you embrace these feelings, the impact of them really softens a lot. And that's something I really, 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 at the beginning of this, I said I didn't stress this enough. So I'm going to stress it again. The point is that you live with these feelings. The illusion is thinking that if you eat, you won't be hungry anymore. But we know that's not true. Eating is not enough to make us never hungry again. You have to eat all the fucking time. Sadness and anxiety, for some people, it's stuck. I've got this. It's never going away. Okay. I'm fine with that. I can say to people, I don't want to live. I think it's stupid. But here I am. Because I just live with that feeling. I just have it. I don't work with it. There's the adage of you have two wolves. Which one grows to be bigger? The one you feed. If you have two opposing feelings, which one grows to be bigger? The one you feed. Except I have this feeling, I just choose to feed the other ones. So if you're in this position, a lot of times you'll just be sitting there hanging out, doing nothing, and now you're fucking terrified. And now you're absolutely miserable. And again, the illusion is thinking that if you eat, you won't be hungry anymore. The illusion is thinking that if you act on those feelings, on that sadness or that anxiety, that it will sate it, that it will get rid of that feeling. But it won't. It will make that feeling even fucking stronger. The point is to just sit there on the couch with your friends and say, I'm feeling really anxious right now. What else could I feel? How can we inspire that feeling as well? I'm going to feel both, but I want this one to be the bigger one. I can sit with this for a little bit and see if that's really real. Can I sit with this for a little bit? Sorry. See if it's really real. Not immediately acting on panic and stuff like that. Waiting a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour before you say or do or act on some feeling. Or another. Okay, so a concept we pretty much had to get through all of that to even discuss is stress tolerance. I torture you with a snake. Remember that? Cool. I put you in a chair and I say, You're allowed to leave whenever you want, but we want to see how long you can stay. There is no reward. We just want to see how long you can stay. And I bring in a snake and I put it in your lap. You're allowed to get up and leave whenever you want. How long can you stay with that snake in your lap? That is stress tolerance. Now, there's obviously much more humble origins of this in an everyday life. You have the hots for someone, and you see that they keep making eyes at someone else. How long can you deal with that feeling before you do something, before you leave, before you say something to one of them? I don't know what kind of snake. Garden snake. They're always garden snake. It's a rattler. They're rattlers. They're all rattlers. How long from the origin of the feeling until you do something about that feeling? That is your level of stress tolerance. And different people have different levels of that. Now, if you are forced past that point and yet still unable to act, some really strange shit can happen. Like psychotic breaks, where you just snap. Or multiple personality disorder, where you just pushed too far. I couldn't do anything, so brain couldn't handle that much stress. Had to offload somehow. Defrag. You know, one trip for me to the behavioral health unit. Yep. I've been there twice. It's just like, I can't fucking do it anymore. But I mean, well, no, I did snap the first time. The second time, I don't think I really snapped. My mother at one point snapped and thought she was in a video game for a day, and also thought all the nurses at the hospital were Westworld hosts. And there was this one girl whose makeup was really shitty, and she kept looking at her, and she'd look at me, and she'd be like, she is clearly an android. And I'm like, Mom, these are real people. Please stop calling them androids. She's like, look at her makeup. She looks stupid. No person would ever put makeup on their face like that. Some guy obviously drew her makeup on stupid. And the girl's there like fucking putting a second blanket on her. And I'm like, I am so sorry. I am so fucking sorry that this is happening. And my mom is full on in it. Thought we were driving to the hospital, and she's looking at this building that's under construction. She's like, why is it going so slow? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, all the rest of the buildings, when they go up, like, doot, 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 doot. But this one's going like slow. Like, because they're fucking building it and it's not a video game? What are you talking about? So there's lots of other shit that can happen too when you just snapperoo. And we don't want that to happen at all. So we can work on our stress tolerance. When you are mildly stressed out by something, you are waiting in a lobby and someone is playing music on their phone. Man, that's pretty annoying, huh? I'm not asking you to turn into a person who people walk all over. I'm asking you to find opportunities that are harmless to improve your stress tolerance. To focus on what you're feeling inside physically. Say, what does my body feel like when I'm stressed out by this annoying kid running around the doctor's office? Well, I feel something here. The information I get by just looking at myself during that time, it's a lot more valuable than yelling at that kid's mom to make him stop running around. Now, if the kid doesn't have a mask on, we're talking, but otherwise, it's just like, okay, I could say something. I'd probably be in the right. I'm not trying to let her walk all over me. I just want to use this chance to work on my stress tolerance. Anxiety, depression, stress, all of these you can do this with. And like a muscle, they will get stronger and improve. Your ability to withstand stress will get better over time, naturally, if you don't break it. Just like a muscle, if you push it too far, you're going to damage it, and now it's hurt. It's going to take longer to heal. But if you push it and push it and push it very slowly, it will get very strong. And that's why you tend to see some people who've gone through a lot of stress and anxiety in their life, and they're hard as nails. And then there's other people who are completely shattered by it. You know what I mean? But that's what leads people to the, I'm going to call it the urban legend that it takes hardship to make a good person. Because you could have lots of hardship and the person never learns from any of it. They just snap because they were never given any good guidance or tools or anything. But you can have someone who really doesn't have a lot of that in their life or a lot of hardship that learns to deal with their stress in positive ways. So either is possible. I mentioned go to therapy, learn techniques. The techniques are like special moves that we use when we're fighting. When we're fighting anxiety, right? You've got punch, but do you want to learn fire punch? An ice kick? You got to go to a therapist. Because you'll learn things like how to delay your feelings, how to, bye Allie, how to debrief and decompress at a different time. I'm going to postpone my stress now and then resolve it later. You learn how to resolve past stressors that are still affecting you. You learn breathing techniques to alter your physiological state during a stressful scenario. All sorts of things like that. And a lot more if you can go to therapy. It's not just mindfulness that they'll teach you. They'll teach you lots of little tricks that are just things you can do, things you can think of, ways you can cope and process the things that stress you out. And that helps you deal with larger amounts of stress at once later without breaking. I can deal with, on a good day, a lot and just be like, I guess I'm just going to go to bed tonight then and wake up tomorrow and still be alive and face challenges as well. And I'm just going to keep doing that. Just keep dealing with shit all day and going to sleep at night until this shit is over. If it ever ends. Oh, that's the divine, what is it? The absurd. The absurd is that. The concept of, for example, knowing you are going to die and knowing that life has no purpose, yet still living every day in a pretend purpose. That's the absurd. And when you get close to that, ooh, that's one of the best weapons for dealing with anxiety, is to just laugh at it and be like, of course it would be like this. Of course I'm the one who's going to get fired. Why would I not? And that's a lot of times make them laugh. Exactly. Why so fucking serious? Damaged. But cereal, like, it's that's my coping mechanism. I have a couple others too. I like to, in a very mediated way, disassociate by getting really, really, really into a video game. I like to feel like I'm not in here and that I am just one with my avatar doing whatever the hell I'm doing in a game. That helps me because when I come back to my body, so to speak, it's like there's less stress there than when I left. It just is. Not being in my body and thinking about all the things that bug me makes it easier for my body to cope with the stress that is already there. So when I disappear and come back again, it feels better. Now, I ruled this is very fucking mediated because that mentality can lead to things like drugs and alcohol, to disassociate for longer periods of time, because every time you come back to your life, it's worse. I'm able to do this in short, tiny hour or two long bursts because I go to therapy as regularly as my therapist can schedule me. I'm working on my bigger problems. I'm not just pretending like they don't exist. You're allowed to pretend like they don't exist for a few hours, if that helps you. Come back, though. These are still problems you have to face. You know, that is one mechanism that you can learn to help you cope with these things in real time. When you are stressed out now, what can you do? You know, and there's a lot of methods. I don't want to go into as many of them because I don't want you to think that this is a replacement for therapy. These methods need to be tailor-suited to you and your capabilities and your risks. What are you good at? What is your, inner voice sound like versus how are your vices and your disabilities that you have to face. Example, I'm still working on some confidence issues I have. I want to continue to work on them because I know I won't go any further in a few avenues in life without doing so. Perfect. And I've seen from you, it's not like you sit around and constantly say your confidence is getting in the way of things yet never do anything to change it. Or not acknowledge that you have confidence issues and constantly be in a process of fixing it by like faking it till you make it kind of like that doesn't work either. You know what I mean? To sit at the position you're at, to just fucking sit there. It's the end of my turn. I'm going to sit at the end of my turn. I'm going to look at all the cards on the board. Go, this is where we are. I hope that these are the next few cards that get drawn out of the deck. I have a few plans, but this is where we are. I'm not in those plans. Those may not ever be real. And I'm no longer in the past. That's done with. It's gone. It's just my imagination at this point. The past isn't real. You're imagining it. It happened, but it isn't now. It's your fucking imagination. And so is the future. Why do you allow yourself to do that, yet not imagine a state where you are happy and content now? And that's a lot of what mindfulness is too. I'll do a whole thing on why I don't like mindfulness sometime. It is very, very powerful and important, and it is extremely useful tool for those who do not have an extensive history in therapy. I am highly therapy resistant, so things like mindfulness only have a very minor effect on me. However, I know how important they are for most people, which is, you want to be mindful too? Okay. So that's why I'm not saying, do this to lower your stress. Do that. When you're in a stressed out situation, count to 10. I don't want to tell you to do that shit because it might not be good for you. I want to tell you, find a therapist. Again, 3 things, right? Find a way to get out of the scenario. If you are in an environment physically that you are at risk in, or in danger in, or afraid of, find a way to get out of that physical environment. Find someone you trust to go over what you're thinking with, and develop a plan to get into therapy. Cycle back around. Look at your scenario. Is it safe? If it's not, get out. Talk to a friend. Decompress. Analyze your scenario. Look for therapy. Analyze your situation. Is it safe? If it's not, get out. That's all you can do. You're going to have this forever. This is you have to feed it. Like I said, feeding it's not going to make it go away, but you have to work with this. You have to engage with it on some level, and you want the level that you're gauging at to be with the best vocabulary and tools possible, rather than to engage it as a novice every single time. I mean, imagine if you have to go do a skateboarding competition twice a year. You have to do it. I am forcing you to join this skateboarding competition twice a year. 10 years later, are you still going to suck ass when I force you to go down this fucking ramp on a skateboard? Are you at least going to learn how to drop into the bowl, ramp out, do a fucking kickflip or something? I don't know. You have to do this twice a year for the rest of your life. Why do you still suck at it? Why are you still complaining every time I put you on the skateboard? Oh, I don't know what to do. Figure it out then. Because 6 months from now, I'm going to put you on this fucking skateboard again. Get good, kid. And if you take your disability, I'm going to keep calling it, of anxiety, of stress, of depression, seriously, and say, I'm going to have this for the rest of my life, get good at dealing with it. There are ways to handle it, and practicing those ways. Practice like a sport. Finding safe realms, like when an annoying kid's in the office, to just sit there and go, how can I deal with this stress? Is it counting to 10? Is it stepping outside? Is it looking at my phone and trying to find something fun to do? Finding safe scenarios in which to practice the skills of actually living with your anxiety forever and for good is how you're going to live with your anxiety easier in the future. Do you want it to be harder to deal with next time? Or do you want it to be easier? If you're in it right now, all that matters is getting out of it. If you're not in it right now, and you know it's coming and you're not doing anything to prepare for it, it's going to hit you very, very hard. But you know it's coming, and there are things you can do to prepare for it. I have earphones so I don't have to hear outside noise if it starts to bother me. Yeah, I do the same thing. I can't handle if someone's playing on their phone and like watching it, like a little kid's watching a video on their phone in the doctor's office. It freaks me out. I just don't like it. I have to put headphones on and listen to an audiobook or something to break it up. Can't control outside, but I can control my reaction. Yeah. And if that outside is more of a problem that your reaction alone isn't going to handle it, then that's what I said. You're in a situation that you need to get out of. Then you need to change your environment. Leave. And then figure things out. Don't expect to be able to figure things out in it. You need to leave. You need to develop a plan. You need to practice. You need to see therapists. So, I think I've grown impatient of my negative emotions and forgot to deal with them one at a time. That is a very self-aware statement, Callie. That is a very intuitive thing to say, and I totally agree. I do the exact same thing. I forget that I live with these guys. And I all the time say, I don't have time for stress to stop me, for anxiety or fear to stop. I don't have fucking time for it. I need to do this thing anyway. Rather than saying, how can I do this thing with my stress and anxiety and depression all sitting on my back, all sitting one on top of the other like a bunch of monkeys sitting on top of each other's heads on my back. They're never going to leave. So going, I deny them, is stupid. Saying, how am I going to get each one across that border? How am I going to get each of these guys into the boat and across the river with me? Because they're coming with me. And yeah, you're the second huge part of your really good point there is to handle them one at a time. To look at one and say, what are you? How can what changes can possibly be made in my life to better live with this? Those changes are me living with it. Me saying, I never go to the left because that door is booby trapped, is me living with there being a booby trap on that door. That's fine. It's constantly affecting everything I do, which is never choosing to open that door. But I can live with that. Just don't open that fucking door. Now, that means I need to put a sign on it for when guests are over. That means I might need to put another little glow-in-the-dark thing so I don't accidentally open it when it's dark. That means all these things to living with this problem. I can't fix the problem. I can't make the bomb on the other side of that door go away. But I can do all these other things. That's living with it. And the level of tolerance you have, plus your ability to live with it together, is the combo to fight off these feelings. So you're best served by improving like your core your core personality traits, so to speak, as let me think for a second here. Kind of put it into a final statement. You have to live with you all the time. Yeah, very much so. With your issues, with your disabilities, you have to create a life which, if you looked at them from outside yourself, you would still want to choose. With your depression and with your anxiety. And that can be really, really hard. Harm reduction, yeah. My point here is, with all of this, focusing on harm reduction, the other side is finding a new hobby, making a new friend. These things are the antithesis of sitting alone, depressed, and freaked out, right? You're busy. You're hanging out with someone. You're having a good time. You have someone to reflect on your issues with. So one of the other best ways to combat these feelings is to develop any other kind of thing in your life. any other feelings or relationships for you to focus on, to be a wolf that you feed, so that this one isn't where your mind is always at. The more you do that, the less of the pie chart your fear has that it can occupy. The less hobbies and friends you have, the bigger its slice of the pie gets, and the more of your time gets filled with feeling like crap. So, none of this is me saying, like, all you gotta do is this, and you'll feel better. I hope that this is all interpreted as, you're gonna feel like shit forever. Here's how to make that not the worst it could be. Because that's what you get. and accept it now. Because it's not that bad. Once you get used to, swimming in a river of diarrhea. It's not that bad. Just don't breathe it. Just don't get it in your mouth. Is what I'm trying to say. All right. Thank you very much, YouTube. Come hang out on the stream sometime. Twitch TV/CountHowl or live.howls.cc. Howls.cc. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I need to make a little thing and just copy paste it at the end of the recordings so that it pops up right there. It does, right? Yep. Although those links are also in the YouTube description, so I'm not worried. The default. Oh, yeah. My body hurt. My body. That was over an hour long. For something with like no notes or nothing. Your leggies. No leggies. So I was looking, and it does look like video cards finally did change in price, which makes me very happy. And Monster Hunter, it appears, is the high end of my video card. It's sitting right on the line there, ready to crash at any second if I do anything. Absolutely, we can do that. Yes. Schedule a time to look at computer parts. Yeah, we'll do it. If nothing else, Sunday. I'll get a list of everything I have ready, and we can look from there too. You're gonna want a 4 GB video card because a lot of games have that as recommended. Minimum is 2. Recommended is 4. 8 is boss. Real boss status. Excluded you. Wait. Now let's look at this in the framework of what we just discussed. Did they tell you you were excluded? Or are you deducing this on your own? see something. I want to see the camera quality on this guy. Dat planner. Yeah, okay. That works. So Sunday will be more of a personal call. So, Iron? Nope. Nope. That didn't answer my question. I don't think this camera is any better. Hold on, we'll see. Add video capture device. Phone. This doesn't really look any clearer to me. And it's laggy. Nope. It's the green light. The second camera has awesome quality? That was what you think? What do you what other opinions we have on that? Well, the color isn't what matters. It's the actual quality. Like, can you see more wrinkles on my face? Because I can plug it in and then it won't lag either. Boop, boop. Oh God, I turned the flash on. Crispy? So crispy. So huh. What do we think? Looking at like individual hairs. The tones are richer. Because I was thinking that this looked very pixelated when I did the videos. And that's why I started being like, my camera sucks. So I have to find my mount so I can mount it up there. Then again, this one has the best camera. Where is it? Webcam. Oh, I'm upside down. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Let me see. Use the other camera. Front. Back. That's pretty slick. Pretty slick indeed. But that's my phone. Here's the shirt. Whee! There we go. So this little guy. Is what I've been working on. Now what I really need to do is, this all looks a little chalky. So I'm going to go in and use a little bit richer colors. But I used a little bit of white to just know where I needed to do my highlights. So I just barely hit this with white from the airbrush from directly on top. And that put, you know, a bunch of highlights on it. Now I'll go in and do that thing to make them look real good. It's all the skulls. He cool. And then I was working on this little dude. When my shit broke. Oh, hi. Camera went off. Ooh. He's pink because those are going to be his highlights. Or like his midtones. So he'll get painted with a lot of shade. And it'll make him cool. He's kind of uneven though because my airbrush farted out on me at the end. So we'll see how that turns out. Doot doot. I still need to finish my Gundam. I got a whole bunch of little guys. I'm working on 2 skeletons. Tiny skeleton guy. They're easy. Just anytime I'm working with white or black and I have a little bit of extra, I go over and mess with them. And that's been my minis lately. And that's the mini roundup. That's the way the miniatures crumble. Are there any new deals on Steam? Because I can't play Monster Hunter on screen. Yeah? Yeah, no problem. Dear Steam, what are your sales today? Sea of Thieves. Resident Evil. Battle for Bikini Bottom. What? Medieval Dynasty. Kind of looks interesting. Sea of Thieves. Past Fall Guys and top sellers. Is that going to have like a people playing it again? I would play some Sea of Thieves. Some fun ass shit when I played Atlas. I still need to get Fall Guys, just like cuz. That's just like free content to just sit there. Bread boy! Bread boy! What's up? How you doing? How are you, my friend? You doing hood? Bread boy, send me $20. Oh, I thought you were hood rich. This bread is stale. Bread boy, how have you been? You said good, but like, what have you been up to? Check the wish list. Nada. Por nada. Nada por nada. IDK stuff. What do you do when you don't work? What do you do? What do you do to keep yourself entertained? How do you have fun? What have you been playing? Ah, some classics. Minecraft is a classic at this point. How about that? How about Minecraft is... Yep. We have a Minecraft server. For some reason, I am not an admin there, so no one uses it. I've been looking for games to play with other people, though, so... Yeah, super poggers. I was able to play Dark Souls 3 on the PC though. I could always do that again. I was gonna restart and not be a fucking wizard because it's hard. Yay, Rona negative. Christopher Lout, New Vergus. My question is this. In Dark Souls 3, where do you get spells? Okay. Random shit. All right. Should I play Dark Souls or should I play Fury? You guys decide. Hold on, I can do a poll. Holy crap. Allow additional votes. Start poll. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Okay. What? We need more votes. That's why I need more viewers. I don't care about viewers for viewers' sake. I need more viewers for the polls, god damn it. Stale Bread Boy, have you considered becoming a subscriber? It's good for you. Yeah. I know that feel. I know that feel. Money isn't real. Where am I gonna get it? If I don't have it, looks like I'm gonna play some Dark Souls. Some Dark Souls. Oh my god, I just saw the picture Lumi sent me of her as a boy from the filter. Okay, let's see if this works. I pirated Dark Souls. If I straight up launch it, the controller won't work. I have to launch it through Steam. So I added it to Steam. Then I said, Steam, make a desktop link, a shortcut. So this should run the shortcut through Steam, allowing me to use my controller. In theory. Yes. Yes. Controller. Okay. Where's the best place for my webcam during Dark Souls? I guess I could be smaller. We'll move me up here for now, I guess. Let's see. Because the bottom right has like my health and all that, doesn't it? No, that's up in the upper left. Okay, well, this is a fine place for the camera anyway. You are one ugly motherfucker. I remember every time I went down here, a motherfucking crossbowman would show up behind me. There's that motherfucker. Oh, oh. Ow. Bitch ass motherfucker. But I found him. Ow. Oh god, that's not dealing a lot of damage. Whew. This shit. This fucking shit. I have no health now. I have to go back to the fucking shrine. I can do 6 rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. Attune spell. Yeah, I don't have any fucking spells. Wait a minute. How do I level up? Makes him come to life, right? If I walk down there. Ow. They hurt so much. Help me. Help me, Jesus. How? Okay, let me see something real quick. Travel to the Firelink Shrine.
Welcome home, speak. Very well, then touch the cake now.
Well, it's a lot of required souls to level up.
Farewell,
I will
Ashen One.
talk to you later, lady. Let's go this way. That's where all them souls is. $420. Bye, bitch. The skinned. That's a dragon. That's just a dragon. How about I don't? Ow, fucker! You dead. Whoa, buddies. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see that guy behind me when I was going through. But that little area has so many dudes that I guess aren't active that it's hard to... Ow. Dick. Now I need to get my souls. He's gonna... Yep, he's gonna do that fire thing. I'm gonna recover my lost souls. I'm gonna get the fuck out of that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, okay. Okay. Yeah, you do that. You do that fire. Okay, we're gonna go up these stairs. I got no health. Got no flipping health. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. He is ready. He was ready to kill. Okay, but now I know that that dragon, you go through that. You go right on through it. There's 3 guys here, not just 2. You dead? Where's the other one? Where is he? Ooh, fire bombs. Oh shit. Get out of here. Oh, fuck me. No, get away. I couldn't roll. I couldn't even roll. I lost all my souls. All my dark souls are gone. Fight this guy. Fight this guy. Phew. Phew. Oh, good. I got those 150 souls. Just what I needed. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't even have the volume on for you guys. There we go. Now you guys can hear me die in real time. Damn, I didn't think I'd get burned where I am. I got a sword. No! Fuck! Fuck. Is it 3 or is it I? Because if I'm not in what Twitch recognizes as the actual category, then it's like valueless to have me in another category. For most part, it's not worth it to have me in any other category anyway. Like, I'm not going to get reported. Oh, it's a dead dragon right there. Oh, really? Are you fucking... I don't think it is, though. I don't think it ever really increases viewership to be in any other category. I mean, just chatting is the best category. It's the best round. We did it. Fire Blast 1. Go. 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 We're gonna pick this up. We're gonna roll past this guy. Ow, fucker. Okay, well. Now, it's gonna be a Black Knight guy. Get him when he comes down them stairs. Bitch! Bitch! Use a bitch! Soul of a deserted corpse. Soul of a corpse for dessert. What was that? Is that a fellow? And then he fell. Oh. Hey! Hey, cool! Bonfire! The long sword, huh? Ten strength. Ooh, see, that'll get you. Is there no faster way to do this? Maybe I just not know what I'm doing. Oh, cool. Now let's go to the fire link. Let's level up. Hey, girly.
Welcome home, speak thine heart's. Very well, then touch take none. Manifestations of disparity. elucidated by fire, deep within, retreating to a darkness beyond the reach of flame. Let them soon rest, casting themselves upon the waters. These souls with golden vessels, manifestations from disparity, elucidated by fire, deep within, retreating to the darkness beyond the reach of flame. And soon rest,
Strength increases the damage of my spells.
manifestations of disparity, elucidated, retreating to the darkness beyond the reach of flame.
Let me get some health.
Farewell, Ashen One.
I can use the extra. Titanite shard. Force weapon to +3. Okay, can't go there. It's lagging quite a bit on the strength. Fuck! There should be a knight out here. No? Darn, now. Fuck! You didn't look real. Shit, here comes another guy. Ah, 3 hits. Shit, that didn't kill him. I guess I go this way. Don't throw daggers at me. We dead. Bitch. Fuck me. I just want to live my life free of judgment from you guys. You all just want to fucking kill me. I'm just walking. I'm just walking through. How much of a disruption am I? If just a guy walking through your castle disrupts your life this much, your castle has problems. That's just how it is. This is locked. Hi! I see that you are standing guard over there, so I'm just going to go ahead and send you a couple of these for Christmas. And pray that I don't have to fight your brother. It's like some sort of act of revenge. Oh. I got throwing knives now, bitch. There's never any stuff in these barrels. I'm using a nail breaker. This one's... We've got one more point of durability. You know, to be frank, I'm kinda lost. That's locked. Hey, buddy. I would talk to you, but you're locked in there. I didn't mean to drink that. I'll break all this stuff out here for you, though, so you can look at broken stuff. I'm sure you've been looking at that table long enough. Okay. Okay. I guess we go the other way then. It's like you come out and there's always little openings right behind you. You fucking backstabbing bitch! Hi. You dead. Okay. Okay. I see what you're saying there. And I disagree. 1, 2. Quick. Give me stuff. You're stronger than an average guy. You should drop things for me. I need toys and presents in order to feel satisfied with my life. Otherwise, it's all meaningless. I can't have any trinkets. Why am I here? Give me stuff. How do I... There we go. There we go. Fucking 17 fire bombs. Try and act like I don't have 17 fire bombs. Oh god, I just fucking ran into you though. That was smart.